This is the story of the rabbit, the otter, and the goose. Once, Rabbit was bragging to Otter that he could do anything that Otter could do. The otter chuckled, for he knew Rabbit's pride was even bigger than his ears. He said to Rabbit, "Sometimes I hunt geese." And Rabbit scoffed and said, "I hunt geese all the time." The otter smiled and said, "The next time I spy a flock of geese, I will invite you to come with me for the hunt." The rabbit gulped, but kept his face and agreed. The next day, Otter found Rabbit and told him that there was a flock of geese down on the lake. Rabbit followed Otter gamely and dived into the lake after him. Otter went first out of pity for Rabbit and dove deep beneath the water, coming up silently beside a goose and dragging it underwater. He killed it and swam back to Rabbit. Now Rabbit was prepared for his turn and immediately dove underwater. However, Rabbit is not Otter, and had to come up for air several times before he reached the floating geese. Finally, he made it to the flock of geese. They looked at him confused, for they knew Rabbit did not hunt geese. The rabbit steeled himself, then pulled out the noose that he had fashioned from the long river grasses. He threw the loop over the nearest goose's head and pulled it tight. The goose, surprised, took off, with the rabbit clinging gamely to the rope. The rabbit held on for dear life, until he grew too tired and had to let go. He fell far, far down, and directly into the center of an old rotten pine. He fell all the way to the earth, but was surrounded on all sides by the walls of the pine. At the base there was no door, and the rabbit was trapped. He starved for a long time, and finally began to eat his own fur, as rabbits nowadays are wont to do. Finally, he heard some children pass by, and convinced them to cut a hole to let him out, because then they would see how beautiful he was. They obliged unknowingly, and to their horror, gaunt, bald Rabbit rushed out like a demon, and then ran far, far away.